This evening on CitrusTV News, a Washington Post reporter is being honored by the Newhouse School for his reporting in Iran.
Plus, thousands of migrants are being moved from a camp in France after government officials decide to shut it down.
And a new deal with AT&T and Time Warner may change the way you watch TV. CitrusTV News starts right now.
From the CitrusTV studios, this is CitrusTV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening, I'm Lauren Anderson.
And I'm Michael Tricarico. This week, Syracuse University is honoring the 270 people who lost their lives in the 1988 Pan Am Flight 103 bombing. 35 SU students coming home from study abroad were among those killed, and that's our top story.
Every year, 35 students are selected to honor the student victims who died when their plane exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland on December 21st, 1988.
Remembrance scholars are hosting a series of events this week to remember the victims and raise awareness about terrorism.
CitrusTV's Noah Wolf attended the candlelight vigil last night that marked the beginning of this year's Remembrance Week.
Remembrance Week is going on now, giving Syracuse students and staff an opportunity to reflect on the terrible tragedy that struck the communities of Syracuse and Lockerbie on December 21st, 1988. The event also serves as a unifying force in the community.
It's supposed to heal the community. It's supposed to build the bridge against the victims of a tragedy and those that are affected by it.
The event kicked off with a ceremony in the Shine Student Center and a candlelight vigil at the Wall of Remembrance last night. Those in attendance believe holding the event makes Syracuse University a special place.
I think it's one of the most important things that we do on campus. It's a foundational part of our identity as a university, and I think it says a lot about who we are as a university that we come together each year to remember these 35 students.
Many of the Remembrance scholars feel personal connections to the victims that they represent. Going through her victims file especially touched scholar Kelsey May.
One of the moments that I will never forget is sitting down with my victim's archives and reading the letters that he was writing to his parents, reading the memories that his friends were kind of thinking back to him.
Remembrance Week is officially underway with last night's candlelight vigil, but there will be many other events throughout the week to honor the victims. Remembrance Week concludes on Friday with the rose-laying ceremony here at the Wall of Remembrance. Events will continue throughout the rest of the week, including a celebration of life at Hendricks Chapel, an interfaith dialogue about Islamophobia, and a rose-laying ceremony on Friday at the Wall of Remembrance. For CitrusTV, I'm Noah Wolf.
Tonight, the Remembrance scholars are hosting a panel titled Doing Memory, Doing Justice. The event begins at 7 o'clock in Slocum Auditorium.
A full list of the week's events can be found at remembrance.syr.edu.
The American Red Cross hosted a blood drive in the Shine Student Center today. Students and faculty lined up to give blood. Student organizations at SU have partnered with the Red Cross throughout the semester to host drives. Today's event was sponsored by the American Red Cross Club and SU's Relay for Life. Future blood drives on campus will be announced on the Red Cross's website. Washington Post reporter Jason Rizian is the recipient of the Newhouse School's Tully Free Speech Award. The award ceremony was held this afternoon in the Herg. Rizian was chosen as the winner for his reporting in Tehran. In 2014, Rizian was arrested and spent nearly a year and a half in prison for espionage in Iran. He was released earlier this year as part of a prisoner swap. The Tully Center for Free Speech was established to honor alumnus Joan Tully. The award is given annually to a journalist who displayed courage when their right to free speech was threatened. And authors Alan Sepinwall and Matt Zoller are coming to campus to discuss TV the Book. Their book ranks the top 100 best scripted shows in American TV history. From I Love Lucy to Breaking Bad, the authors break down the good and the bad. The event is sponsored by Insomnia Cookies and will have free cookies for anyone that attends. The authors will also be signing books following the talk that will be held at 5:30 tomorrow in the Herg Auditorium.
The city of Syracuse is hosting its first Peace Week, a movement that aims to create a safer and healthier community. Throughout the week, members of law enforcement and community leaders will host workshops at city schools to educate youth and empower them to stand up to violence. The event, hosted by Syracuse Police and the county legislature, will conclude on Saturday, October 29th with a march down Clinton Square at 9 a.m. The Destiny USA Hotel has a hotel partner. Destiny USA announced today that the $50 million hotel will be named the Embassy Suites by Hilton Syracuse. It will be the first hotel ever to be located in the shopping center. The Hilton Hotel is expected to open in fall 2017 and will provide 70 permanent jobs to the area. And Syracuse police are looking for the driver who crashed into Kitty Hoynes early Friday morning. Police say the suspect hit the building and fled the scene. They believe the car may have hit the building when it tried to turn onto West Fayette Street in downtown Syracuse. Witnesses say the car is a white sports utility vehicle similar to a Jeep Cherokee. Despite the damage, the Irish pub is open to the public.
After the break, thousands of migrants are moving out of a camp in France today. We'll tell you why French authorities are shutting down the camp and where the refugees are going.
And is the cold weather here to stay? Galat Malamed will be in studio with your full weather forecast.
It was a wet weekend here on campus, but luckily we were able to stay dry today. The temperatures have definitely gotten colder though, so what will the rest of the week look like? I'll tell you coming up in my full forecast.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this.
You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay, but remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
13 people are dead and 31 injured after a tour bus rear-ended a tractor-trailer in Southern California yesterday morning. Authorities say the bus was moving at a high speed while the truck was going about 5 miles per hour. The California Highway Patrol chief says the bus was going so fast that the truck entered 15 feet into the bus upon impact.
In almost 35 years, I've never been to a crash where there's been 13 confirmed fatal accidents. So it's tough. It's tough for all of us. The fire department who handles it, CHP personnel will handle it. It's not an easy thing, and you never get used to this kind of thing. So again, our sympathies to the families. We're going to do everything we can to find out specifically what the cause of the accident was.
The bus driver was killed in the crash, but all of the victims haven't been identified yet. Police have launched a full investigation into what caused the accident.
And a suspect in Oklahoma is on the run after a double homicide of police last night. Michael Vance Jr. fled the scene of a mobile home park in Lincoln County after deputies arrived responding to reports of shots fired. He fired at the deputies, then stole their patrol car, ultimately hijacking a woman's car after shooting her. The deputies and women are believed to have non-life-threatening injuries. He is armed with an AK-47 and was last seen driving a 2007 Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Early voting is opened in the battleground state of Florida. 50 counties opened polling places today. The remaining counties will start opening polls later this week. There were lines for early voting in several states over the weekend. More than 5 million Americans have already voted in early voting and absentee ballots. Polls have shown a tight race in the Sunshine State and is a necessary victory for Donald Trump. Both candidates are stopping by polling places in the state this week.
Protests against the Dakota Access Pipeline continue to escalate. On Saturday, more than 100 people were arrested in North Dakota on several charges, ranging from trespassing to engaging in a riot. Protests continued Sunday as protesters blocked the highway, causing closures for several hours. Since the summer, thousands of Native American and activists have been living in camps and protesting the construction of the pipeline, arguing that it is an environmental threat.
Five people are dead after a small plane crashed in Malta today. The crash happened early this morning during takeoff at Malta's international airport. The Maltese government says the U.S. Metro liner was heading to Libya as part of a human and drug trafficking operation by the French government. Officials say all 5 people killed were French nationals. Flights were canceled and the airport closed for several hours while debris was cleared.
Authorities in France began clearing out the jungle Monday in an effort to process migrants. The airplane hangar in Calais, known as the Jungle, was transformed into a holding center for thousands of migrants looking for safety. French officials are offering migrants the choice to stay in France or return to their home country. This comes as an influx of people are trying to escape to Britain through the Eurotunnel, which is next to the Jungle. The camp will be demolished starting tomorrow.
More than 170 inmates are being searched for after escaping from a prison north of Haiti's capital on Saturday. Authorities say prisoners killed a guard and stole firearms before fleeing the jail. Police have set up checkpoints along roads and have detained several people. At least a dozen have been captured, but well over 100 of the inmates are still on the run.
This past weekend left us with some of the highest rain totals in October, breaking the rain record for October 20th.
Flash flood warnings were also in effect over the weekend, with winds reaching up to 40 miles per hour in central New York.
Galat Malamed is in studio to tell us if the rain will continue this week or if the colder weather will prevail.
Currently right now it's 47 degrees, feels like 41 though because of these 13 miles per hour winds. Looking at the current surface analysis of the area, you can see clouds all across the board. The pressure systems to the south of us, though, that's why we haven't seen any precipitation today. Current temperatures across the area, mid-40s all over. Syracuse here at 47. Cortland the lowest at 43. Elmira up at 48, but no 50s for us today. Waking up tomorrow 8 a.m., 37 degrees. Going to be cloudy almost all day. It's going to feel like 32, though, so definitely want to wear a warm jacket if you have a morning class. Tomorrow's forecast, 9 a.m., 39 degrees, noon 43, going to go up to 44 at 6 p.m., but the real feel is going to be in the 30s all day because we're going to have strong winds going up to 15 miles per hour. Looking at our freeze outlook right here in central New York, there's the potential for frost and the 5-day forecast tomorrow, high 46, low 33. Wednesday, high 43, low 34. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's going to be wet. Highs in the mid-40s, and Friday we have a low of 39.
All right, Galat, and what should I wear to class tomorrow?
So tomorrow is going to be a little bit colder than today, so if you were cold today, bundle up more, but if you were fine today, then you could wear whatever you wore, you know, fleece jacket, jeans.
And looking further along in the week, which weather should we expect for Halloween weekend?
Halloween weekend is going to be wet. It's going to be rain Friday, rain Saturday. Thursday night, you might not get the rain, but it's going to be cold.
Sounds like
Thank
Thursday
you so
night's
much.
the night then.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
And coming up, AT&T is buying Time Warner, what the massive merge means and how it may affect you.
Plus, General Mills is rolling new cereal flavors that will have Girl Scout cookie lovers celebrating. Citrus TV News will be right back.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
AT&T is buying Time Warner for more than $80 billion in cash and stock. The deal was announced over the weekend and marks AT&T's plan to expand into TV and film content. The agreement comes a year after AT&T bought satellite provider DirecTV for $67 billion. The deal could be one of the largest media mergers ever, but it must pass the scrutiny of regulators first. The deal has sparked concern for consumers and their access to Time Warner content. However, AT&T says the deal will provide consumers with more viewing options.
We see that if we can actually innovate and curate the content differently and bring to the customer differently, we actually think this doesn't slow down, this accelerates. And this is the really important thing here, because we're really excited about, as this accelerates, as this demand for premium content on these mobile devices continues to grow, it gives us more and more incentive to invest more and more in infrastructure and innovate in infrastructure. This idea of 5G technology.
It's not clear yet who will be reviewing the deal, but the Justice Department is expected to review the proposed merger on antitrust charges. And a new revolutionary motorcycle by BMW looks like it is straight out of Tron. The bike is one of the 4 futuristic vehicles on display at the Santa Monica Airport in celebration of BMW Centennial. The extremely light bike includes a new feature which allows it to stand up by itself at any time, and there will also be no displays on the bike. Instead, the driver uses a pair of goggles that displays the necessary information based on where they look. The bike is most likely to never see production, but many of its individual features will be created and used in future BMW vehicles.
The 2 largest brokers in the U.S. are merging. TD Ameritrade reached a $4 billion deal to acquire Scottrade Financial Services today. Ameritrade is expected to gain hundreds of millions in annual expense synergies and long-term opportunities once the deal is finalized. TD Ameritrade is the leader in the growing business of online brokering. These platforms allow financial advisors and investors to easily trade. And Girl Scout cookies are about to transition from the cookie jar to the cereal bowl. The Girl Scouts of America and General Mills are teaming up to make 2 new cereals flavored after 2 of the most popular brands, Thin Mints and Samoa's. General Mills confirmed that they are in the process of making the cereals and will be distributing them nationwide in January of 2017.
Now coming up in sports, Syracuse got a big win in Boston. We'll show you how they didn't, and could SU men's soccer get their biggest victory of the season against ACC rival Clemson. All that and a lot more coming up next when we return on Citrus TV News.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it,
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got, or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
On Saturday, Syracuse football traveled to Boston College, coming off of a massive win against Virginia Tech and a fiery Dino Babers speech. The Orange were looking to keep this momentum going against the Eagles and get back to 500 on the season. Let's see how they did in this one. And again, the weather would be a factor. It was raining in Boston, but that didn't matter to Eric Dungy and his offense. Early on, he hits Brisley Esteem for a 10-yard score to Irvin Phillips. I apologize. 14-3 SU after that. Then again, third quarter now, and Steve Ishmael with the catch. One taps his foot in, unbelievable. Gets the score to put Syracuse up 21-10. And now still in the third quarter, an unbelievable play here by the Boston College quarterback, Patrick Tolles, 75-yard touchdown run to cut the SU lead to 21-17. That was Boston College's longest offensive play of the season. But the Orange would fire back in the fourth quarter and put this game out of reach. And Eric Dungy finds his man, Amba Etatawo, who makes a one-handed catch, just sticks his left hand out, stabs the ball, and takes it 68 yards to the house to give SU a 28-20 lead. And that would be the final. Syracuse takes down Boston College. Now, staying on football, for the second straight week, 2 Syracuse players were named as ACC Weekly Award winners. Quarterback Eric Dungy again won ACC Offensive Back of the Week honors. He had 3 touchdowns and 488 total yards, the second most in SU program history. And the man he meshes it so well with, Amba Etatawo, he won ACC Receiver of the Week. He had 144 yards and a touchdown. He is the fastest player in Orange history to reach 1,000 yards and only needs 57 more yards to set a Syracuse all-time record for most yards in a single season. Now onto the pitch where number 6 Syracuse men's soccer took on Clemson, trying to get their first win over a top 10 opponent this season. And this game was another long one for SU. Let's see the highlights here. And this one was a game of missed chances for both teams. Early on, Miles Robinson, as his header goes just wide of the keeper. And then again, a header here by Syracuse. Johannes Peels can't get it to go. It's saved by Clemson's. And now Clemson would get their chances. This is overtime now, and they can't fire one by Syracuse. Hendrik Hilpert with the save. And now the biggest play of this game, we're in double overtime, and Hilpert, a sprawling one-handed save there to keep this game tied at 0. Let's look at it again. Just gets his left hand out, and this game would end 0-0 after 120 minutes of play. Now moving on to the defending national champion, Syracuse women's field hockey team. They took down number 13 Boston University this weekend. Syracuse went up 2-0 early in this one, thanks to goals from Jennifer Bleakney and, to the surprise of no one, Lise Lackerway. The win helped them bounce back from a tough 1-0 loss to number 10 Virginia last weekend. The Orange are now 13-2 on the year with an 8-2 record against top 20 opponents. For the third time this season, Syracuse claimed the U.S. Track and Field Cross Country Coaches Association National Athlete of the Week honors for cross country. That was a mouthful. Hope you got all that. This time it was Adam Palomer earning the award after winning the John Reef Memorial on Sunday. He joins fellow Orange teammate Justin Knight, who won the accolade twice this year. Now continuing on with awards for Syracuse athletes, SU women's ice hockey goalie Abby Miller joined in on the fun. She was named the National Goalie of the Week by the College Hockey Association. She posted a career-high 35 saves against number 5 Colgate this weekend. Her performance helped the Orange come out with a 2-2 tie against the Raiders. And lastly, in basketball-related news, the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame announced today that SU women's basketball senior guard Alexis Peterson is on the watch list for the 2016 Nancy Lieberman Award. This annual award recognizes the top point guard in women's NCAA Division I college basketball, with Peterson and fellow senior backcourt partner Brittany Sykes. Coach Hughes' squad is expected to have one of the best backcourts in the nation.
And Matt, with that backcourt, what do you think SU's chances are on the women's side to make it back to the Final Four? They made it to the national championship game last year.
This is a very energetic young squad other than those two seniors, and I think they have a good chance of getting back there. I mean, Coach Q's done a phenomenal job of recruiting, and they have a lot of good players, and they have a lot of sharpshooters out there, and I expect them again to be a team that runs a lot, gets a lot of steals, and takes threes when they're open.
It's always a fun team to watch.
Yep,
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
After the break, we'll have a look at your weather tomorrow morning. Stay tuned.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Welcome to OPP.
Orange Press Pass is your ticket inside the Syracuse locker room. Hear from the coach.
You can't make it. You're shooting 15%.
I really believe that we're going to start something and play.
Just cutting down the net, I can feel the goosebumps.
Get in-depth analysis, reports on site, and more.
It's all right now on Orange Press Pass.
Orange Press Pass. Live after every Syracuse game.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
All right, the lot is back. Are we going to see any rain or snow later this week?
Yeah, we're going to see rain Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but Thursday morning we might get a mix of rain and snow if it gets cold enough, so you should look out for that.
Oh, man. Certainly be on the watch.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
While Halloween is about dressing up and showing off your favorite characters, it's also a war zone for which candy's the best.
Last Thursday, the Today Show revealed a candy map showing America's favorite candy by state according to a survey taken by Influencer.
Influencer surveyed nearly 40,000 people and found that the most popular treat is candy corn. 5 states, including Texas and Oregon, ranked this Halloween favorite as their first choice of candy.
All right, so does candy corn win or lose for you?
It does. You know what? New York's is sweet tarts, but I'm apparently not very sweet, so I'll take the candy corn to the bank.
I'm from Pennsylvania, where Pennsylvania, it was Swedish Fish was the #1, but personally, my favorite has to be Twix.
Twix, I am a fan of Twix. I think candy corn isn't one of those you necessarily hand out.
Right.
It's one of those you kind of have in the bowl when you have people over to help celebrate the Halloween
But it did win around.
It did win.
Yeah.
I'll always take candy corn.
Yes, definitely.
Well, that's all for Citrus TV News. For information on these stories and more, check out CitrusTV.com and make sure to follow us on Twitter at CitrusTV News. I'm going to take some candy corn. I'm Michael Tricarico.
And I'm Lauren Anderson. Have a great night, Syracuse.